The speech at the
Really
beginning
fast.
where he recites verbatim Bilbo's speech is incredibly nervous.
Yeah,
Typical.
yeah. So there's that.
Yes, Jay.
That was typical from you, Jay.
Typical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast. So today we're doing a little bit of a different episode, but before we kick things off, we are joined by a very special guest who's actually been a member of the Gollum's Gamers since its inception. It's Jay Achaya. Jay, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on this evening. It's been a long time coming.
That's Elliot. Yeah, I mean, been a whole year, right? Pretty
It's
much.
been the whole 2023 season. So as we're doing the 2023 review episode, that's what this episode is. You know, it's the perfect one to get you on for. Keen-eyed viewers may have kind of seen your name in places, as when we do the preview episodes, we often look at your
They'd have
list.
seen us dish. They'd have seen us dish your list repeatedly throughout
Got
the
more
year.
hot eyes and
And
goblins.
As you can tell, you're going to demonstrate that all those lists we dissed, you then won with lots of them again and again and again.
My memory's gone a bit funny actually. Jay, where did I last see your name? Was it? Oh, of course. Was it Into the West? Where did you come again?
I was very recent.
I mean,
Was that
Don't
say anything, you know? Don't need to say anything.
You came
Only 2
first,
years in a row.
right? Or was that last
yeah.
year? Oh no, that
know
was.
Deja vu, right?
122
My
players.
memory's going funny.
Strike it harder, Adam. Strike it out.
122 players or 244 over 2 years. I think it was top both years.
Oh,
Let's go.
it's pretty typical.
So
yeah,
we'll be representing
okay.
Wales at the Masters at Ardcon again.
will be.
Again,
That's it again. Yeah. So as this is our 2023 review episode, we're going to be looking at sort of some stats from the league in 2023, some stats for us kind of as a team, and also some individual stats that I have as well. But before we get into all of that, we've each thought of our own sort of top 3 favorite moments from this season. So we're going to start by going round everyone just how we would in our normal top 5 episodes, and find out everyone's favorite moments. So Sam, you are first up, my guy.
Yes, my number 3. These aren't really in any particular order. To be fair, they're just there.
I guess we should probably say as well, like, it doesn't only have to be about the game; it could just be about the league, you know, the season as a whole.
Yeah. So I'm going to take one that I think is all near and dear to our hearts, or at least I know it's to James and Ash, and it's going to encompass all of the karaoke vibes that we've done this year.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Yes, that's a lemon pick.
We after an event on a Saturday night, if it's a 2-day, we try and find karaoke because I don't know, it just has to happen. It's good fun. You get drunk.
It was bowling, and then it moved to
It was
karaoke
bowling.
as we decided.
We need
that
to
we
start doing
are-
more bowling. Yeah.
If you're lucky, you might get a
You guys
Gollum's
went
Gamers.
at Cardiff, didn't you,
Dom.
the other
Mm.
week? Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed it.
So, you know, we've done
Adam
it.
totally bowled a winner. It was well good.
Yeah, Adam dominated us.
He
Did
did.
he?
Well, Ash was
He's
winning
good at
the whole
bowling.
way through.
Yeah. But no, I
And
think
then
I don't know how many
Again.
times we've done it now. So what on number 2 is we did it in one of the weirdest pubs I've ever put in.
We
Great
literally
place.
just
While
walked
watching the
in.
rugby.
There's got to be loads of other times.
I mean, that was the first time I've actually done.
Yeah, we
Ever.
roped you into it.
So yeah, my
Mm.
cherry has been popped, and we'll be doing it at the GP hopefully. We totally did do it a little bit at the finale, very briefly.
Yeah, I'm thinking I think the
Yeah.
first time we probably did it with people was the Masters as well. That was when me, James, and Ash. I think did you sing as well, Jay?
yeah, was it? We're all there. We played darts.
Yeah, I
didn't
think
we?
we were all there. I remember Farmer got on the mic and Clubly was loving it as well. You know, it's always a good time. So
Karaoke is fantastic.
that's my 3. Just karaoke in general with just drunk after an event.
Yeah, to be fair, there have been some pretty good moments in
Yeah.
the evening. Yeah. Okay, so my number 3. So I'm going to start with something that is to do with the game. So it was just a really funny sort of moment that happened, and it got me into quite a good position at an event. So it was at Bicester. And this event was with the pods. So if you finish day 1 in the top 8. You go into pods of the top 8 people in day 2. And it was just quite funny because the guy I was playing in game 4, so we were both 3-0, and the winner of that game would go into the top 8. He totally won the game. It was recon. He had a betrayer Farhad list with like loads of shooting in recon against my Witch King Sully list, and obviously he had so long to just shoot me to shit across the board. So he'd won the game basically. I'd hardly killed a model, and he'd broken me. So the turn he broke me, I then managed to slingshot off Suladan and 2 Cav for the 7 VPs. On that turn, he broke me by 1 model. Then the following turn, I fail about 13 courage tests to go from broken to 25%, end the game, and get through to the top 8. So it was a pretty lemon moment to get through to the top 8. It was, he kind of couldn't believe it when it happened. He was like, "Oh, I've now lost." Okay, but he was winning the game, and I got a free dub. So it was a pretty.
Like you cheesed that poor man pretty hardly.
Totally did, but you know, the dice rolled. I was like, "Oh, I'm rolling low. Oh, okay, this is actually going to happen now. I'm going to 25%. Okay, I'm like 3 off now. Okay, let's just keep rolling." And I totally did it, and I got the dub.
Nice.
So I thought it was a pretty lemon moment. Yeah, so that's it. Number 3, James.
Yeah, number 3. So my number 3, Sam touched on a little bit, but number 3 was actually just attending the 2023 Masters because it was my first opportunity to get into them, as 2022 was my first season. So being able to actually play in that, like as the top 16 people, was pretty cool. And as like Sam said as well, it was a really nice sort of social event. Really, I didn't go there to try and win it or anything. It was just fun. It was really like unique experience to have played at Warhammer World, that sort of stuff.
World. Yeah.
I think playing at the Masters is because we all managed to qualify, which made it really, really good for the first time.
Yeah.
All me, Sam, yourself, and Jay, we all qualified. So 4 of the Gollum's gamers qualified. Like not first time of asking, but to this one last year.
But 25% of the whole of the Masters attendees is on this call. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, flex. But it was the fact that the ticket was free, and you would like the tables were fantastic. You're at Warhammer World. You were sort of. It was just such a good event, and because all
How
the
were the tables? When you said that they're fantastic, don't they have like really crappy terrain? I thought at Warhammer World.
Because there's only
Like,
There's only
use
16
Middle Earth
tables,
stuff.
so no, 8 tables even. So yeah.
Just didn't they only use the Middle Earth stuff, and like it just doesn't actually.
Yeah. It was just Middle
Like,
Earth.
that was before like
Yeah.
the Gondor stuff was out and everything, though, wasn't it? So was
they have enough to
No.
fit out where it's.
They had Osculia Ruins, but I don't know if they had the new. I can't remember if they had the new terrain.
The new
No, I
one.
don't think they had the new stuff.
No, so they
Yeah.
had the old ones, which are okay. Yeah, it's because obviously there isn't like that much of a variety because they can't use kits from
It was
other games.
basically like playing at Wembley. You know, it was that sort
Yeah.
of feeling.
I wasn't there. So.
It's like being a League One team reaching like a cup final. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't really happen.
That's pretty low.
You got to play against, you know, the best players. People could sort of the same people had been going to the Masters. I'm sure Jay, you can tell us because you've qualified more than once. That the same people go sort of every single year, and then me, James, and Sam going was like just a new group of people to sort of socialize with, which was quite good.
Yeah. Okay. So James attending Masters, number 3 pick. Jay, on to you, my friend.
So I think I've got 3 non-hobby ones. I'm just going to get them out so I don't forget. So actually, one hobby-related one I have to talk about. It's actually something related to Ash. So anyway, at Sutton, at a number tiers, me and Ash played, I think, was it game 3 or game 4?
Game 4.
Game 4. So game 4, day 2. Laws of Battle. Ash had his classic, you know, Witch King, Sully,
Yep.
Sauron nonsense. And anyway, I'd taken a bit of a different all-hero elites army. So Boromir, Galadriel, Legolas, I think, were my 3 heroes, and then just Fountain Court, a couple of elves, and I think that's pretty much it.
We reviewed that list on the pod. Yeah.
I'm sure they probably slammed it as usual.
I
But
think that might have been the one we said
anyway,
was good, to be fair.
so we played Laws of Battle, and anyway, as per usual, our lines clashed. Ash charged him at Shagrat. To be fair, it was going pretty much evenly up until that point, pretty much in terms of kills, I think. But I think I might have edged ahead by like 3 or 4, but nothing too major. Anyway, Ash goes in with a fully fresh Shagrat into, I think, 2 guys, or it might have been 1 guy, and I might have countercharged and put in another guy. So I think it was 4 of my guys, So 2 front rank and 2 spear support against Shagrat with a friend. I don't think you had a Sullivan in range. I don't think.
No, Sully wasn't in range.
Nah, so your
That's
4 dice
right.
be my 4 dice. Ash has got 3 might as well, right? So I think we all know where this is going. So anyway, I win the fight. I roll a 6. Ash doesn't roll a natural 6. I think did you get a 4 or a 5 highest? I can't remember.
So because you had guard of the
I had
Galadriel
guard
Court
yeah.
spear support, so I struck up to like I think it was 7 or 8. So I was confident, nice little 6
high
here,
fight.
win the fight, rolled a 4, thought, nah, this isn't worth 2 might, I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Big error.
So anyway, yeah, exactly. So then I then roll my dice, and I think I rolled 3 6s out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway, even at this point, right, Shagrat's got 3 fates, so like, and 2 mites. So we thought, right, he'll be fine. You know, might have to burn a fate or 2, maybe burn a might. But he then goes on to roll. I think it was a 1-1-2 or something.
No, it was 1-1 because I didn't
1-1.
pass.
Oh, because he didn't pass. He couldn't use any mites. Anyway, in one turn, fully fresh Shagrat just goes pop. I gained 6 victory points or 6 points because it was Laws of Battle, and then that I think ultimately swung the game like massively, didn't it, towards the end?
Yeah, 1000%. I just couldn't believe it. I just watched because you had a dice tray and you rolled 2 6s, like a 4, and you had like a cocked dice just at the side of the dice tray. And I thought, oh, that's not good. 2 6s, picks another one up, 3rd 6. I was like, oh dear.
So you can clearly see Ash remembered this more clearly than I do because he's still traumatized by it.
It's literally burned into my retina after witnessing it. And I just triple won the fate. I'm like, oh. I think I was like 2 or 3 kills behind. So I thought, Shagrat goes in, strikes, kills 2. After turn 3 or 4, I've sort of caught up with his shooting already. And then it just all went downhill.
Yeah, I think that's one hobby related moment, only because it was just good banter between obviously me and Ash, and we played those games anyway, and it was like just a good moment. But the other thing actually is related to Ash, and it's actually non-hobby related, which goes into my top 3, which is at Vista in the evening on the Saturday. Obviously, it was at a nice hotel. I was actually driving back home that day, didn't book a hotel at the venue, and me and Ash ended up playing tennis for about, I think, 4 hours outside the hotel from like 6 till 10. And that was just such a good night out. It wasn't even a night out, but you know what I mean, like a good social tennis session.
You do the most amount of sporting activities out of any GBHL team, I would say.
100%. Yeah. And that definitely goes into my top 3, just because it's such a different like social event.
Yeah. We'll do more this year. We have to do more football as well. We have to get another.
Myself and Jay, as we've been battling, in the league all year, we're just so competitive at everything. So when we're like, Jay, do you play tennis? Oh yeah, right, let's play tennis. And we were, I think it was like 2 sets each, and it was not pitch black, but all the floodlights were on. And it was like, it's 9:30. We've got to finish the set because we were drawing. We can't end on a draw. So we kept playing until one of us won. And by the time we finished, as you said, we've been playing sort of up to 4 hours.
You might be on the Saturday night after an event. So you've been at an event day, and then you've got day 2 the following day.
But it was fantastic.
Yeah, love
it. Not gonna lie, I was so tired on Sunday. But anyway, paid off. Still finished.
You podiumed that event, I believe, as well. So
podiumed that event. Yeah, so it didn't matter.
It's a dub for the game.
And my final one is.
Wait, Jay, are you doing all 3 of yours? Sorry, we were only doing one. We were.
Are we? Oh, fair. That's fine. Yeah, I've got 2 more. I've got 2 more, so it's all right.
Hold
honorable mention, so I can
nice.
save that and use that as another one.
We'll come back. Okay. So Ash, your number 3.
So my number 3 is a shout out to one of our Any Heroics colleagues, which is Elliot Claude. And we played at the Wolf's Let round 1, and I drew Elliot, who had Barad-dûr with Sauron at Contest of Champions, and I thought, this could actually be a little bit difficult. So we both deploy. Sauron's facing against the Witch King, so I thought, okay, this isn't good. And anyway, it comes to pass that Sauron gets 0 kills throughout the entire game, and the Witch King gets 5. And I've got my little notes up. I didn't do any wounds to Sauron, but he ended the game with no might, no will, and I transfixed him 4 times, and he failed to kill. I remember he did a heroic combat and rolled like a 2 high on the dual roll, so that didn't go off. And it was just hilarious to watch Elliot use a 400-point model and get no kills in Contest of Champions.
In contest, it's not what
so
you
shout
want.
out to Elliot for taking that one like a champ.
Yeah, I do remember he was quite sad after that game.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, you're allowed to be upset about that, I think.
Yeah, there's been better days for Sauron, I think. I would say. Yeah. Okay, so that's Ash's number
Still
3.
a lemon tier hero monster. Hero monster.
And you will not be told otherwise. Adam, your number 3 pick for us.
Okay, so my number 3 has to be also at that event. And it was a really surreal moment where you take a bunch of gamers and you give them summer and you give them a play park. And there was a moment where I come back from getting some lunch with a couple of you boys and Vince and Jason, I think. We just come back and there's a load of grown men in this sort of 8-year-old playpen thing.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Fenced in.
You're not making it sound good, Adam. I'll tell you that.
What's Sam in there?
And I just see... and all I saw was Farmer push Jakob down this, like, you know, the thing where you hang on and you...
Yeah, there was the big long thing
The
that
zip
you...
line.
The zip line, yeah.
So Jakob was on it.
No, sorry, I see Jakob push Farmer on it.
Oh, sorry.
And I was just like, what am I doing in my life?
Sounds pretty typical, mate.
You missed the best bit. They all playing ultimate frisbee as well. They're throwing a frisbee on the park.
And Jakob totally stopped playing ultimate frisbee to come play basketball, which was a dart.
And then we go sit down, have some food. Jay, I remember you were sat down as well there. And there were some, I don't know, some teenagers actually walk into this other section. And they kind of gingerly looked over and they saw like a load of 30 gamers and they just looked at it and they just thought, no, we're not going in there. And it was just the weirdest sort of lunchtime I think I've ever had. And that can only be attributed to the GBHL.
Adam's cringing at the thought of that lunchtime.
I remember going on this. Was it me and you actually went on that little seesaw thing? Well, whilst we
Yeah.
went to the bench and we went on there. So good.
There's we went in the park. They had one of those trampolines inbuilt.
Oh
into
yeah,
the floor,
in it, yeah.
and I jumped straight on it, but the bottom was filled with water, so I like soaked my shoe instantly on the first Saturday lunch. That was not a good idea. Beware, the watcher was in.
Also, just how there was like 8 of us all just like crammed onto one of those small little picnic benches, like 4 on a side, just like.
You never know what activities you will get up to.
No,
That's a good pick. I like that. That's funny.
event. Yeah, like it from Adam. Okay, Sam, your number 2.
Yes. I'm gonna go for. I think it was. I don't know whose game it was. I think it was when Jay was talking about the game with Ash and Shagrat. And it just made me think about 2 moments that I've had with. I think he's a good, he's a friend of all of us. However, he is also known as the gamey Jamie Wiggins in the GBHL, and
We've had him on the pod.
exactly, yeah, he's a lemon guy. But I I just remember like the 2 games they're so just in my head rent free is when. The first time I played him was at the first 90 of the year. And we're playing Lords of Battle. He's got his Emperor, and I've got my Assault on Lothlorien, and I just win board edge and sit on this mountain, and he just couldn't charge me. So I just
rock sort of like this, and Sam's army is like on it.
I remember.
You have a picture of it somewhere.
I think Tom took a photo of it when he came around, or it might have been Clubly. I'll have to send it to Elliot so that it can put
He
it
can put it in post.
There'll be one on the
Definitely
screen
put this in post.
if we can source it.
Yeah. It was just hilarious because he just had to charge me down this hill, and he lost so many models, and it was just so funny, and he totally did lose the game
because of it.
And then there was another one, which I mean, I guess it wasn't 2023. It was the past weekend, but I guess that doesn't count.
Save it for the next year review.
No, it doesn't
count.
count.
Shame.
Yeah.
Again, well, I played a game recently, and he was again incredibly angry. And
this is a teaser for an episode that's going to come out 365 days from now.
Yeah, he was incredibly angry, and he wanted to leave the event, but he couldn't because he drove people there. And
I haven't heard about this. I can't wait to hear.
It was excellent stuff, and I just thought all my luck clearly goes to Jamie, and for that I have to salute him because I feel bad, but I also don't at the same time because he is Gamey Jamie.
Yeah.
However, I
We-
did
I
earn the
think you
title of
missed-
Gamey Gran due to that hill thing.
Yeah. We do love Jamie, but he hates us. So
Yeah.
You missed quite an important point there, Sam. You need to celebrate this. Didn't you win the first ever GBHL
Oh.
90?
totally did.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, I
Ever.
guess.
Surely that puts you down in the history.
Never be
books.
another one ever.
Nobody else can do that.
I mean, yeah.
Thanks to yours truly.
I guess it's yeah. I totally beat Eddie at the last game as well.
Can you imagine if Elliot won the first 90 ever? We'd never.
No, but
hit it.
even if I beat Sam, I
Probably
I'll
won.
come first. I'll come second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's much better then.
So I threw.
I mean, yeah, winning the first 90 was nice. You know, it's I guess it's because it's the first, because it's a new kind of thing. You don't really know how competitively people are going to take it, and I feel like it was a pretty competitive event. You know, people wanted to do well at 90 points.
I think we
Survive.
could probably talk about how the 90s affected the rankings when we move on to them.
Yeah. We'll
No,
get
that's a
that.
good one.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so my number 2 pick, Sam and Ash. I may need you guys to help me with this one actually, and James as well actually. This one is from a 90 doubles event that we all attended.
Oh dear.
Yes.
And there was quite the argument. This was the origin of quite the tale from the Gollum gamers. So we were playing, basically, me and Ash were running a Dragon Emperor Legion doubles list, and Sam and James were playing bears, and we matched up against each other like game 3 or something, and a huge argument broke out between Sam and Ash. I can't even remember what it was about, but
I just want to preface before we go into this. Me and Ash just do argue with each other all the time because we enjoy it. It's also fun. Like,
yeah,
but it does get tense and it's great fun.
Yeah, that's like it. We
I know.
we get more and more into it, and we both think we're so right, and it's so funny. But everyone around us thinks that we hate each other.
Me and Sam,
Well,
I
we
think
know that they don't, but like no one else does.
Me and Sam we've known each other probably over 10 years now,
Yeah.
and the amount of arguments we have, sometimes just for the fun of it, they do escalate quite quickly.
I mean, the viewers have seen them on this podcast to some extent, but not quite the extent that happened at the doubles event.
Yeah, it was all in good. It was all in good fun.
Yeah. So basically, it ended up though in the TO for the event, kind of coming over and wondering what was going on. While he was kind of trying to diffuse the situation, James and I just decided to play.
We just kept playing the game
on our own. We were just like, let's just roll. Okay, they're just kind of next to the table having it out. What even was it about though? Because me and Ash were basically rolling ridiculously well against the Bjornings and just absolutely.
No, it wasn't even that.
It was at the very, very start of the game.
Basically,
what was it about?
As soon as the draw came up, I was like, oh my fucking god, I've got to play you two. Like, I play Elliot all the time. I play Ash all the time when it comes to practice games. Going to an event in a doubles thing, there's 30 other pairs, and I've got to play you two. And it's just, I was just a little bit like, oh god, I've got, I wanted to play some new people, I think. And then I basically
curb stomp some noobs.
Yeah, I was like, let's let all right, let's.
It was also day 2, and
was that?
We'd already played.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking it was a 1-day event, but was it 2?
Yeah, 2
No,
days.
it was a 2-day event, and this was the event.
Game 5 then or something.
It was game 4 because there was only 5 games. It was game 4.
Oh, there was 5.
We had it was also both of the doubles could podium, and that was the event that Bjornings peaked and also died in. There was, I think, I think Sam said that, I think you're right, there's 36 teams, 8 of them were Bjornings.
Yeah, that was right around when it died, wasn't it? It was literally like after that event, I think.
Yeah.
We just never saw them again. Yeah. So what were you actually arguing about then?
Well, we basically rolled for, I think we rolled for board edge or something, and I kind of rolled I was, a little bit annoyed that we were playing each other. It's just like, oh god, okay, board edge, roll it. And Ash was like, why be so fucking moody for? Why be so moody?
Yeah.
I was so, for some reason, like, I don't know what was up with Sam, and I was kind of on the opposite of what he was thinking. I was like, oh, we get to play Sam and James game 4. This is going to be good fun. And I think I deployed like the Dragon Emperor, one of my war bands, quite hastily because I was chatting. And I think it was either like slightly over 24 inches or Like
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
put one
it
of the
was. You were
objectives
like, oh yeah,
right.
push him back or something.
And Sam was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, put that guy back." And I was like, "Why are you being like this? Well, there's no need to be like this." Sam was like, "I'm not being like this. You just can't have your model over the halfway line, or
I
something
mean,
like that."
is that true?
It
I mean,
was.
can you have a model
He
over
is
half?
like, technically he's right, but it was just the way he said it, and instantly I was like, "I'm pissed." And then me and Sam just escalated,
It
and
just
escalated, and
It was like
escalated.
the table was here, and then the wall, like to the venue, was here, and there was like a gap on the side. And
And
me
me
and
and Sam
just
just-
sat in this gap, probably arguing for maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now, sorry, was this after? So obviously we were playing game 4, so first game day 2, and we knew from the previous day that we were going to be playing. Was it that night, so
No,
the
I
Saturday night before, when we had the infamous Emperor versus Bears argument at Ashes? Was that the initial?
I think
I
that was
think
another part of the
was.
argument, but I think it had happened way before that.
Or was
I
it
don't
way
remember.
before? Was it not that
Yeah.
Saturday night?
No,
I don't
I
think
think
so.
that was
Knew
just
that we were
another
playing.
another segment of the argument. That
Yeah.
was like a month-long argument. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it could have been that night, which kind of
is that also the game where Ash, you stole Sam's widget and you're like, no, I
Yeah.
haven't got it. I haven't
Yes,
got it. And it was in your
yes, I
pocket.
totally did. I
Actually, like,
totally did.
I'm like, Ash, you took my widget. Because we both had the same atomic cards one. And he's after this big argument, I'm like, where's my widget gone? Ash, you must have taken. I literally put it. No, this is my widget. And Ash is getting really angry at me because I'm accusing him of stealing it. And then he
I
just
think
puts
this was after the argument you've just had as
Yeah.
well. So like,
This is in my infamous cargo shorts as well. So it's
yeah,
in my
he
grey
puts his hand
cargo
in his pocket
shorts.
and just brings out another widget.
oh yeah, it was in
Like,
your pocket, wasn't
he
it?
was like, oh no, I do have your widget. And it just added to the fire, and it was just so funny.
It was a pretty late game. It was.
That was an L for me.
Ash and I got the dub. Ash and I got
That's
the dub.
hilarious.
Love it.
That's a good pick, Elliot.
Thanks, mate.
That was a
Yeah,
really good pick.
I was like looking through all my lists. I was like, that was a carnage moment.
And actually, non-ironically, as Grant would say, these sort of debates and the enjoyment that Elliot got from them was actually almost the origin of the pod, wasn't it? The fact that we could just talk and argue and chat for hours and hours and hours. And it was like, I've got an idea.
Yes. So hopefully our viewers enjoy that sort of content. There we go. Okay, we're going to move on. James, your number 2 pick.
Yes, my numero dos. So it is simply just my highest rank since I joined the GBHL. I managed to finish 4th at a GBHL 100, and that's just simply the best I've done. I was quite happy with that.
Boom.
Let's
And
go, James.
Yeah.
Should have finished third.
That's another topic. Stop it.
Yeah, and that was at
Yeah,
our number tiers, wasn't it? With your
number tiers, 1,000
points.
points. The first points level we really properly played. We used to practice that like twice a week around Ash's house. Just constantly spamming 1,000 points, and it's just is the best points level.
Yours
You're a
was
goblin.
your bread and butter sort of last alliance sort of list that you've been
Exactly.
using for a while.
Yeah. Good. Nice, James.
Pretty typical,
Like
mate. Hopefully a podium next year. Hopefully I can do the same as well. Probably not.
The Woses.
Maybe. Into the West 2025. Okay, moving on. Jay, your number 2 pick.
I think I'm going to go for there's a tournament that I think Dewey ran in July in Chippenham.
Yeah.
Which I think were we all there?
Guardians Call to the Shire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us were there. Well, the majority of our team were there anyway. And anyway, I was doing pretty well after day 1. I think I was on maybe 2 wins and a draw. I can't remember. But anyway, Ewan, who's part of I think one of the Guardians teams, like there's one little dingy little club in the middle of Chippenham that's like quite renowned for being like quite a good night out. So I think a group of us ended up going. I think Ben Haslam was there, Jake Rawson was there, and a couple of others. And about 8 of us in total. And we were there until I think 5 a.m. when the lights turned on and we got kicked out. And I remember the only reason I remember this night out is because I don't remember very much from the night out at all. And that's why it's a mention, because it was such a good fun night out where I can't remember anything. And all I remember was I came in for day 4 on Sunday, and when my opponent was moving models, and I can't remember the scenario, I was literally falling asleep. And Dewey kept coming to me like, "Are you awake? Are you all right? Are you alive?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just wait for my opponent to move his models to wake me up, and then I'll move mine." And that's the worst I've ever felt at a tournament, but also ended up finishing 3rd again. So can't complain. And it was such a good night out.
Tippable. Now I said there's a photo from that night, see, and I want to attend one of these actual night outs, but we're always in bed early doors, boys. We've got to get out there a bit more, no?
No. At bed by
No,
one
Ash.
latest.
No. See, look, this man is YJ.
This needs to change.
It needs to change,
It
right?
needs
I
to
can
change.
play
At
4
least
hours
for
of
one
You're
event.
20. You're 21, my guy. Yeah.
I can play 4 hours of tennis, but staying up past 1. It's just so much hassle. I need 8 hours of sleep.
I'm not sure we've ever even been up till 1 at an event, like out.
I think where was the event?
At yours,
Where we
maybe, yeah,
stayed
but we've never
opposite
actually.
the pub where we did some karaoke. Was it? I think it was Preston.
Oh,
Yeah.
Preston. Yeah,
In
we
Preston,
Yeah.
and you three, we stayed in like it's like an Airbnb, and it got to like 12:30, and I was like, I'm going to bed. And I
Oh,
think
did we
you
stay
three
up
stayed up and
late
just
that night?
chatted. No, I didn't stay up. You guys,
No,
you
no,
always
no,
stay
no,
up.
us three. Were we in that front room
Yeah.
for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were. Yeah, okay, yeah. But no, like we've got to go out, with the boys.
We need
just-
to do a
just-
Gollum's Gamers night out.
We need a proper
Oh,
night out,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
If
I'm
only
being a good
Ash, I would've-
influence. Viewers, at a tournament, make sure you get 8 hours of Betty Bub-Eyes. That's important.
You don't get 8
wait
hours
till
of sleep,
GBHL
though.
100.
Or let me rephrase that. If you want to podium, go out, come back, don't remember much from the night out, and you'll do
Yeah.
even better on day 2.
And it happened. Yeah. See, look, that's good advice. We have to do it
it.
at some point, 2024.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
Yeah, that'll be my number 2.
love it. So, Ash, your number 2 pick.
Okay. I've got a choice. I think I'll go for number 2 at Leon's GBHL 100, where final game I played. Shout out to Matt Pybus, who had Rise of the Necromancer, and this is another tale that links back to Shagrat. And the scenario was Lords of Battle. We were both 5 and I was 5 and a draw, and he was 5 and 0. So he was first, and I was second. And he had Rise of the Necromancer. So he had, I think, the Necromancer, and actually, I can get his list up right now as I'm on Longshanks. So he had 7 Nazgul and the Necromancer of Dogul Dur. And it was Lords of Battle, and Shagrat regains a might point every time he kills a hero due to the scenario. And he also gains a might point back for Blood and Glory. So the entire game, Shagrat went into an Nazgul, struck, spent might to win, killed him, got 2 might back. And I was hunting down this piece of paper that had all the stats on it. I know I have a picture of it somewhere, but effectively Shagrat ended up at the end of the game with like 23 or 4 might points that he had spent and accumulated throughout the entire game. And Matt just simply couldn't deal with the Shag Lord himself murdering all his army. And I ended up winning, which gave me my 3rd 100, I think, of the year. So yeah, that was an incredibly fun way to win 100. And Leon's sword. Leon's sword
What?
was
You won
fantastic.
Leon's sword. That's a great prize.
Shout out to Leon. Your sword is great.
Leon's sword is great. Love that from you, mate. Okay, it's Ash's 2nd pick. Adam, on to you.
So my 2nd pick has to be another odd sort of event. I'd just come back traveling from Egypt at Easter, and there was this event in a little town, which I'd never heard of, called Pontefract. So last minute, I thought, you know what, I've got a couple of days before I start back at work. Let's just go. So I bought the ticket on the Friday night and just drove up on my own, 3.5 hours up to Pontefract. I get there and I realise, hold up, this is the town from that film, the Cornetto series.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz.
Oh,
The town from
Oh,
Hot Fuzz.
yes.
I was literally walking around this town thinking, man, this is where Hot Fuzz was. I don't know if that's actually real, but that's what I thought, right? Weird place. And I go to this event, and there were only 20 players, right? And it was 17 of the top 20 players from the GBHL. I go there, good v evil. I was playing Witch King Suladan, which obviously
Strong choice, Adam.
I started it at the same time Ash did. Haven't had such success with it because I haven't played it very much. And I took it there, and I took Bjornings as well. I quickly painted Bjornings because I didn't have a good list. And I take them, and yeah, I had so much fun that event. Then that night, because I was on my own, I was staying in this weird little hostel hotel thing just above the venue, basically, with a Scottish guy, shout out Bryce Johnson, and he likes a drink. And
He does. He
Polish
loves
guy,
whiskey.
shout out Jakub Krochmal again. He's getting a second mention on my picks here. Really
Adam's
top
in
guy,
love with
Jakub.
Jakub.
I do, I've got such respect for Jakub because he's just the most honest gamer.
He is. He doesn't give a fuck.
No, and he's a brilliant gamer. Like, he's one of the best players I've ever played, and I've loved every game I've played against him. We've played 3 times, and he's just the biggest gent on tour. So anyway, we decide there's nothing to do in the evening, so us 3 bang on each other's doors, and we decide to go out. Curiously, we were staying 1, 2, 3 in a row in this hotel, run by this proper office tits Greek guy. So he tells us where to go out, and there's only about 4 places in the whole street. Normal people would go to Leeds for a night out, but we decided to go out in Pontefract, and it was just bizarre. It's almost like the beginning of a joke, right? You got an Essex boy, a Polish lad, and a Scotsman walk into a bar. What happened? Well, the Scottish guy ended up buying loads of drinks. The Polish guy ended up drinking loads of drinks, and I didn't even know what was going on. And it was just outstanding. We end up at Jakub went home at some point, probably about 3 or 4, and it was just me and Bryce in this club. And we're like, wow, this club, this is really weird. It's got carpet on the floor. And then we're like,
That wasn't a club, mate. That's a
no,
poster.
it wasn't a club.
That's a
And it was just me dancing with Bryce, featuring Jakub at times. He disappeared for hours, comes back. And then all of a sudden, a load of lads started fighting Bryce and myself. And if you've ever met Bryce or myself, you'd probably say we're not the sort of fighty types. So I like to think that we're sort of nice chaps. And yeah, and then everyone got thrown out, and then this guy literally grabbed us by the arms and pulled us upstairs, and we found out that what I thought was a club was actually our hotel.
Wait, what?
It was the weirdest thing.
Wait, what? How did you end up in a club?
Adam stepped into a brothel at 4 a.m.
We were off it.
That was a good build up, and then just the crescendo was great.
I was at home.
Yeah,
it was all a dream.
Yeah. Everywhere led back to our hotel. I know these like secret staircases and all this. It was just bonkers.
Right
so yeah.
Let's
go.
4-0.
Like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Adam's number 2 pick. Sam, your number 1 pick.
Yeah. So my number 1 pick is going to be. This also features Bryce Johnston. Absolute lemon guy. I'm just going to do 2023 Sterling as a whole. Event, the night out after.
I'm not sure this is going to be an Ashes top 3. No.
Yeah, no.
This is why it was so good, because I didn't go.
And they were like, we're finally rid of him. Yes.
The actual event was good. It was like you go there and no one. So you're playing against people that you have no clue how good, how bad they are. Like, you have to play as if you're playing against bloody Man City the whole time, because otherwise you could just totally make a mistake. They capitalize, lose. So I like that. I liked how you didn't know who you're playing against. It's just new people, new personalities that you're meeting. And, me and James stayed in a little Premier Inn that was about 1 minute walk away. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
It was unbelievable.
Good booking by me.
Yeah, and then we like, there was some people that we knew there, like Will, Jake was Wilson there? No, Wilson didn't go there, did he?
No,
No,
I think Ed was there, but
yeah, Ed was there. Yeah, Will was there. Um, and we went back to the hotel, stayed there for a bit, and then went out for dinner with with everyone. Had a curry. Ivan, David Coleman, who we don't see all the time, but we were chilling with them. It was really nice. Went to a pub, and yeah, all the Scottish drinking loads. Um, and it was just a good time. We went back to it was Bryce's Nikki Forsyth. Oh, who's the other fella? It was
was it Connors as well?
I don't know if Connor was staying there actually, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, we basically Jamie Moore was there as well. He was staying there. We went back to this Airbnb that they had, and they had a bottle of whiskey, beers, and stuff in the fridge, and we were probably there till 5 in the morning. And
Yeah.
I've got to shout out Nikki here because yeah, Bryce was just feeding us whiskey just 24/7.
Thank God I wasn't there. Fuck me.
Yeah.
It was like you thought you were
God.
gonna get through the cup, and it's just like, oh,
It was oh, it was. I'll never forget Bryce on the way to the Airbnb, like going to Connor. He was going, "I'll fucking bash you." It was so, and it was just like Nikki Forsyth shout him, teaching me and James to like throat sing, and it was just such an odd but hilarious night. And
yeah.
Sterling.
and it was all because Ash wasn't there because he would have been bedding by 12 or 1.
See, look, that's what I'm saying. We need Ash to not come to more
Yeah.
events, then we can all actually go out and be
I
drunk.
think it was the
Ash is
fact
the
that
issue.
maybe it was a 1-minute walk, so that helps, you know.
It was just
Yeah.
Or
incredibly
if
lemon.
your hotel is the biggest club.
That's true.
Go on a night out in your hotel.
Yeah. And like, we went for food after on the Sunday with David and Chris, and Will was
Yeah,
there as
because you
well.
were all in Scotland, obviously.
Yeah,
So.
and it was a 6-hour drive from there to Ash's house,
Yeah.
and then 2 hours back for me and an hour back for James. So it was a long way away, but it was one of the best events, or the best event I went to last year as like as a
Good.
whole, I'd
Yeah.
say. So yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I think so.
It was
that.
kind of when we booked it, you booked the Friday off and the Monday off as well, so there was no rushing.
I was
I can
totally
imagine
going.
you guys just
I
got
mean, I
to
was
chill
going
out.
to go as was Vince, so we were going to have a proper whole team go, but
It was a
it
vibe.
ended up being Sam and James in the end.
Cute little date.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
Okay, so that's Sam's number 1 pick. So on to my number 1 pick from the 2023. I'm sort of rolling 2 into 1 here. So I'm gonna give a shout out to the Atomic Cast, to Bert Leach.
Yeah.
As one of the best moments this year was definitely going to Bert's wedding. So I've never been to a wedding before, and there was a good like little group of us, GBHL lot who sort of went. So James went along with Sam Fitch and Luke Hilder. So we all went to Bert's wedding. It was like Lord of the Rings music playing and like Lord of the Rings references like everywhere during the ceremonies. That was pretty cool. We went to the reception afterwards and just generally had a really good night there at the reception. It was like a Minas Tirith cake, and they cut the cake with like, was it like Aragorn's sword or something, James?
Yeah, it was Andoril, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just filled with Lord of the Rings, references. So that was just a really good night. And then basically me and James, the next day, we were staying at Luke's house, and then we were going to wake up really, really early to drive to a 1-day GBHL 90 on the Sunday. So yeah, we were going to have a good night out, really good time at the wedding, and then go to a GBHL 90. And it was one that we had both kind of eyed up as like there weren't too many like really top competitive players going, so we were hoping to try and win that event, or at least one of us podium. So we're going to this event, we wake up really early, and sort of it's a fairly long drive as well, so we go there, we're like, yeah, okay, we're feeling good, we've got good lists and everything. So fast forward to game 3. James and I are both 0-2 after just getting railed our first 2 games. And then game 3, me and James draw against each other. So we're both 0-2, and like we're both just so tired and everything, like after the previous night. And then we're 0-2. So I'm playing Pits and Ogledore, and James has his Mirkwood Rangers, and it was whole ground. And James and I just decide to play the entire game only speaking in American accents. So like I'd just be like, So at the end of this turn, we're gonna move into the combat phase. I'm gonna call her a combat with my
Heroic
Azog.
combat.
With my Azog. And we just played the entire game like that. And it was
We
really
got so many just odd looks from around the room.
we,
Everyone was so confused.
we weren't hiding it, like we were just being really loud and just laughing. It was so funny. I totally got the dub as well, which made it better. But we were just pissing around, and it was really quite funny. Just the evening before, and then we're like, it's lock in and I'll play and try to do well, and we just totally didn't.
Not lock in.
It's probably the best moment I'd say this year. Yeah. So that's my
Elliot,
number one pick.
I love how you had to mention that 0-2 that you got the dub.
As if it matters.
I got a tip.
Well, I went 0-4 at the event, so
I got the dub. I mean, dub's a dub. So James, your number one pick.
my number one pick is kind of what the reason I do this hobby. I didn't think it was going to happen. It was like really rogue. We went to one of Tom's 90s. We did preview it on the pod. I took the
We
Lemon
also
and Trebuchet
reviewed
list.
it as well. We
Yes.
reviewed it
Yeah.
as well. We never do.
And we got to the final game, and there was an opportunity for me, Sam, and Ash to all hit the podium. It was like, it's probably not going to happen. There's too many things that need to like go up and
I know.
down. And then all of a sudden, I managed to win my game 12-0, which is exactly what I needed to do. Sam managed to win his game. Ash managed to win enough to bump me up into that third spot, and we managed to take the 1-2-3 home. And it was just, it felt like a movie.
That is actually a really typical moment. Yeah, you guys come in 1, 2, 3. You couldn't write it better, really. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
a good.
beautiful.
That's a good pick.
that was a pretty lemon moment. If only it was at a 100, that would have been. Oh,
Only.
that would be fucking nervous. Now, surely this year, maybe we need a purely Gollum's Gamers GBHL 100 podium. I mean,
It's
we've
gotta
already
happen.
had 2 of them at the first event of the year. So just need the
That's
third.
true.
Could happen.
It will. It will happen.
Vinny was close.
Mm.
Yeah. So I like it. James' number one pick. So Jay, on to you, my friends.
So I think my number one's got to be hobby related. So obviously earlier this March, I was lucky enough to be invited to the WTC in Granada.
Yeah.
And obviously the event itself was incredible. Obviously it was pretty much like Articon. I don't think any of you guys have been to Articon, but pretty much like a world event. Play against people you've never played before. Language barrier can be a bit difficult, but like even then, such a good experience. Can't speak highly of it enough. But actually, what I want to talk about is not actually the event itself, but actually it's the day we flew out. So I went with Ali King,
Oh yeah, Ali and
Now-
Jamie, didn't you? Yeah.
now of Gollum's Gamers, and Jamie Wiggins. She gave us the lift to the airport where we flew from. So anyway, Jamie picked us up crack of dawn, like 3, 4 a.m. I think it was. Our flight was really early. I think it was about maybe 7:30 or something. We're flying direct to Malaga, and then obviously taking a car or something from there to go to Granada. So anyway, we got to the airport at a good time. Obviously didn't have any check-in bags because it was just literally a rucksack and a holdall. And that's pretty much it. Got through to the airport and we thought, we've got like an hour and a half until the flight sets off, so we should just go have a bit of breakfast. It's quite early in the morning, chill for a bit, and then leisurely take our time, go to the gate, and then be on our way. So I actually don't know if any of you guys know this story, by the way.
I think I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair. But anyway, for those who don't, James doesn't actually, so we can fill him in. So anyway, Ali was like, "Oh look, there's like a place to have breakfast. Let's go eat." I can't remember where it was, but anyway, we sat there. Had breakfast. We were literally just chilling and lost track of time. And Ali ordered all our tickets, and we'd obviously just transferred him money. So it was ultimately his responsibility to check what time we had to be at the gate and had to get to the to the gate by effectively. And the story that everyone was told was that there was a pregnant woman who unfortunately fell ill at the airport, and I had to use my powers of doctoring to cure her.
He's a
make her feel
doctor
better,
for folks that may not know. He's a doctor.
and attend to her needs. And as such, we attended to her. I made her better. Wiggins and Ali were in the background, just sort of supporting me. And then ultimately, because at that moment we were late to the gate and weren't able to get onto our flight. Unfortunately, what actually did happen was we just didn't know what time the gate shut, and we were late, so we went out onto the flight. So then in a rush, we ended up going all the way back down to like the Ryanair sort of security service place, and they were like, we can book you into another flight, I think 8 hours later, to Seville. So we would have got there at like 6 in the evening, because we'd already been awake since 3 a.m. We were like, don't really want to be waiting at the airport for like another 8 hours. But there was another flight to Madrid, which I think left like 2 hours after or 3 hours after, like 10ish. So we thought, right, we'll have to take the hit, pay the money each, and then take that flight. So we ended up taking that flight, and actually ended up being one of the best days I've ever had, like on holiday abroad, because me, Ali, and Jamie turned this little road trip, flew to Madrid, spent the day there having breakfast or lunch or whatever you have it, hired a car, and then made a road trip about 5 hours, I think it was. And Jamie very kindly offered to drive the whole way, and ended up getting to Granada, I think, quite late in the evening. But it was just a very wholesome road trip with the boys, and just a really good experience.
In
I
Spain.
think that's got to be my number one moment of the year.
Nice. I totally didn't know
Oh,
that
man.
you guys then went on like a big road trip through Spain, sort of thing, to get there. That you flew to Madrid. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's great. It's a nice drive as well, go through the mountains.
Yeah, definitely. Highly recommend. Although Spanish drivers though are a nightmare. I'm sure Adam can vouch for that. But so many near misses, and just they're literally like, no, I mean, they can't drive.
They can't drive.
They literally just
Are you
can't
sure that's
drive.
just not the Jamie effect?
I mean, to be fair, he was actually pretty good. I can't fault him at all. Me and Ali obviously didn't drive, and he drove the whole way. And actually, I think his driving was solid. But the Spanish drivers just cut you up, and like no indicators, nothing, and then like give you all these hands gestures and all sorts. But Jamie did well. Yeah, credit to him.
Yeah, I drove in Italy this year as well, and it was the same. Yeah, no sense or anything. Love it from you. Okay, Ash,
great.
your number one pick.
So, my number one pick concerns our beloved host of the podcast, Elliot Schillinglaw.
Oh dear. Which blunder is this going to be? Eh? Is it City of Kings?
We
is
all
it
walked
Preston?
up. We all got a lovely road trip to a gathering in the Grey Havens, and me and Elliot are playing. I think it was round 4 or maybe round 3 in Preston.
Okay.
And we drew the
Were
scenario.
you all at that event?
Oh, I've just realised what it is.
Adam just wasn't there. No. Okay.
Me too,
We all
James.
drew.
How is this your favourite moment of the year?
We all drew. I'll get onto this in a minute. We all drew assassination, and we were writing down our assassin and our target. That's a big point.
I knew I wasn't going to get through this episode unscathed.
We played the entire game, and basically how it had panned out, I thought, it's a draw. At the grand reveal, I had basically wounded my target with my assassin. I had like 3 VPs.
So hold on. So Ash was kind of winning the game, and then last turn, I made a play to come out with the draw. So I'm like, yes, I've done it. Like with what was happening in my head, I'm like, yes, I've snuck a draw. So
Elliot was so stoked. I was like, actually, that was a good play from him, to be fair. And I thought, okay, a draw, not bad. I think we'd have both been like 2-1. Big reveal. Okay, here's my assassin. Here's my target, Elliot. And Elliot opens his piece of paper. And what had you written, Elliot?
I had, from memory, I'd wrote a target and someone to protect.
So
I just wasn't paying attention
let's go. And
no, I had wrote the right. Hadn't I wrote the name of your model just next to the protect bit, or had I chosen one of my heroes? Oh, I can't.
No, you had written something like target. Sorry.
Suladan was my target.
Yeah, you put like assassin Ratabi, and then you put like protect Brookir. So when you open the piece of paper,
and I went like here, and then it was like, oh,
because I think maybe if you had, because I remember you didn't write any of my models, because otherwise you may have had a leg to stand on to be like, oh, I had written the wrong.
Just thought of the wrong.
I had just written the wrong word. You writ protect instead of target. But it's the fact you wrote your own hero down that I was like, I'm not giving you. You haven't written down any of my heroes.
But I had gone all in last turn to try kill Suladan, because he was in my head throughout the whole game. He's my target, because like he's the one Ash's, kind of out of all his heroes would need to have like sort of somewhere near the line where I could possibly get to. So I finally killed him, got it done, and then I'm like, yes, I killed Suladan, and then it doesn't say that on the paper. And I'm just like, oh.
So after all that, rather
And
than
then
it being a
also,
draw,
sorry, at that point, so Dave Farmer was actually like at the table watching, and then
Yeah.
when I turned it over, he just kind of went, "Oh," and just walked away like immediately. It was so
I remember talking to Farmer, and I went, it was protect Brogear, and I thought he's not even put Ashes like that. If it was the model of your, like, if it was Suladan, I'd probably forgive it. But
Yeah.
me and him were just
Well,
laughing
no,
at the fact it said protect Brogear.
Which is why like, I didn't, push back on it and say, "Oh no," but I had, because obviously I could have said that about any hero, but like obviously I know
If-
that I had meant to kill Suladan, but I didn't write that
if
down.
you'd have
So
put protect Saladin, I think I'd have been like, okay, fair enough. But it's the fact you put your own hero, didn't write a single one of mine, and it was like, well, you haven't actually put. How can
anything down?
We
No.
don't know.
No.
So you got
Get this man on the next scenario release for
Yeah.
crossing Fog of War with Assassination.
Come on, has to be done, right?
Have you got
I need
your
to be-
trophy for
I need to
number one
be
game
re-employed
nearby?
by Games Workshop, I think. Yeah, that's what you do. So,
And for
Ash,
his
Ash-
excellent work, this is the trophy you won.
yeah, so I got I'm not sure if I've shown these on our channel yet, but I was on the Into the West podcast recently. Shout out to those guys, and I totally showed the trophies on there. So, but for our viewers, yeah, so Ash got me as part of our Secret Santa 2 trophies. So we'll start off with the nice one. He got me this one here with the podcast.
You have to
microphone.
overlay a picture because it's all blurry.
Which
But
says
talk about him anyway.
MESBG World's Best Podcast Host. So love that from him. And then he got me a GBHL 2023 Most Events, Least Podiums, Worst Gamer. And it's a big shit on the top.
It's a
and
giant turd.
and it's those kinds of plays that I do at events, which there have been many to choose from.
I just couldn't, because I just couldn't believe my luck, because it was like, oh, we've drawn the game. And
then I just gave him a free dub, and he's like, "Oh, sick."
It's the fact we played for 2.25 hours and nothing mattered because you hadn't written the right thing on the paper.
Now, did you have a close tie between this and the game we had at City of Kings where I bought
Yeah.
Bruh?
So that was more of like an actual strategic error, whereas
Okay, but this was
writing
just
the wrong
gotcha.
writing the wrong target was just completely, it was off the scale,
Bananas.
silly. Yeah.
Love it. So
Um,
Ash's number 1 pick, his favorite moment of the 2023 season is me fucking up. I rate that from you. Okay. Moving on. Adam, your number 1 pick. Close us out.
I've got so many I could have chosen.
We can have a little honourable mentions afterwards, briefly.
Okay.
At the number 1 moment.
My honestly favourite moment. So I've just got a bit of paint that went on Boromir by accident. Oh.
Fucking
So
Boromir.
my number 1 favourite pick has to be, again, related to the event where we went up to in Stowmarket, and we all stayed over at Vinny's house. And there's 2 moments of staying at Vinny's house that I remember.
Oh, I know what one of them is going to be.
And
Oh my god, I think I know as well.
I know what one of them's going to
no,
be.
so there was a particularly lovely moment when we all played football together, which I thought was fantastic. You know, it
Oh,
was,
that
was
was
a
a great time.
Yeah,
I think
that
there were
was
8 of us, and actually we had Jay
9.
and the 2 Haslams as well, as Gobel, Sam, Elliot, Ash, myself, and Vince.
James wasn't there.
No,
You're
this
missing
was-
out on one extremely typical gentleman as well.
Another Sam.
Who?
Oh, Sam Palmer.
Yes.
Oh, let's
Let's
go.
go.
Totally forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, and we played a great game of football. It was good fun. Vinny organised all that. And then, obviously, after playing football, you end up quite... You probably need a shower, sweaty.
Oh,
sort of
good.
I knew it.
And so we go back to Vinny's penthouse apartment suite. He's currently got a date, actually, so he's might be back there already.
That's great.
Early doors.
Let's go,
for me,
Vince.
eh? In and out. Love it.
Yeah, he's efficient. And I forgot a towel. So he lends me a towel. And so did Ash Waldra. So I go have a quick shower, dry myself, put the towel on the rack, nice and dry. Ash goes for a different approach to using the towel. He comes out and he's just stood there, basically doing the sort of clothesline in front of everyone. And we're all just looking at him, and Vince just looks at him in the eyes, and Ash goes, "Where'd you like me to put this?" He goes, "You can keep that." It was just brilliant.
Keep going.
No, I'm gonna let you finish that one off.
No, it was about Elliot with the water.
Yes, and Sam.
Wait, with the
Go with
water.
Elliot, keep telling the story. Keep telling
That
the
is
story.
not the bit that I was. Wait,
No,
what?
go on,
Water?
Ash. Go on, Ash.
I don't remember this.
Sam, do you remember it? Because I don't want to mess it up because it was so funny.
You say it, and you say it, and I'll let you know if this.
Oh, I can't. It was something like Elliot goes, "Oh, can I jump in the shower, Vince?" And Sam Palmer goes, "There's no hot water left."
Oh,
Oh yeah, Sam proper
Elliot-
burned me, didn't he?
Elliot turns around and goes, "What? Really? Oh no!" And then Sam was like, "Yeah, of course there is," or something. It was just so out of the blue.
Yeah, no, I do
Oh.
remember that. It was so unexpected. Sam just proper.
Sam just put the beat down on Elliot.
He
It
just
was more
did
funny
me.
than that.
It was just
At the time,
it was the way
great.
he said it, and then
I
Elliot
do
kind of sat down again. Oh, that's a shame. And I just looked at Elliot and thought, Elliot, you realise he's joking, right? There is still a hot water. And he went, oh, is there? And I'm just looking at Sam laughing.
Sam quickly realised that I was someone he could get one up on very quickly. Instantly went at it.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was funny.
And then me and Sam had to walk back to the car because Ash left his fucking pump in the car.
Oh yeah.
That
I think kind of the overall top moment for everyone is just like the
Being at
people that
Vince's.
you will meet and the things and the fun stories you can tell, because
Yeah.
we'd have never met. I mean, myself, Sam and James knew each other from like school and stuff, but we'd have never met Elliot or Adam or Jay or Vince or anyone else on the team. And it's just like you get to meet people that you would never come into contact with otherwise. And then you can just, it's just a great way to have fun stories about,
Now we've probably spent
things you
hundreds
can
of
do.
hours sat on Zoom talking about MESBG.
Yeah. What a life.
Throws at you, eh?
This was probably one of my favourite events, Wolf Slayer.
Oh, sorry. There, yeah.
There are two parts to this. The first part was when, obviously, as a podcast, we invite on the TO to the to the preview.
Shout out Josh Sherman.
Josh Sherman.
Josh Sherman. Every TO gets really excited about coming on these, and some of them get so excited they get lost for words. And Josh Sherman was just sat there, just smiling. Oh, you have to go and rewatch this episode. Spotify does not do this justice. Go back to that episode, and it must have been episode 10 to 15, something like that.
Yeah.
And he just sat there for about 20 minutes, and the man is just smiling.
He's having a great time.
He is having the time of his life. He fucking loved it.
Shout out Josh Sherman.
Josh is such a lovely human.
He is
He's
lemon.
brilliant.
He's a lemon bloke.
He deserves to come back on the podcast, I think.
Yeah.
When we go to Wolf Slayer to retain my title.
Yeah, next year.
And my next honourable mention is also Wolf Slayer.
Yes. I wonder what your favourite event was, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a guess.
This moment was outstanding. I had actually, I'd missed half of it, and Vinny had to come over, and he was in hysterics, and he had to tell me what was going on, to tell me to look up, because I was still having a nice game with Denby. And as I look up, after just finishing off whole ground, obviously the time had just gone, and it's all about working out how many points you've got because how many models are near the middle. And I just hear expletives and not very happy Jamie Wiggins.
Oh, is this about my game?
And shout
Oh,
out to
no.
Elliot Schillinglaw for for setting up the hot gates in the first hour and then realizing he was in a winning position, then going to take a shit.
No. That is fake news right there.
Classic Elliot.
Adam is painting the picture that over an hour of this game had passed, and then I went for a shit. 5 minutes of this game had passed, and I went for a shit. That is a lie. I'm putting it out there. I will not have that narrative built.
Oh, it's just outstanding.
It was funny though. That'll be Jamie.
Brilliant.
He'll
All
be
the
watching.
tables were being packed away, and you two were still counting the models near the middle.
Yeah, he was not a happy bunny.
No.
He fucked it. He
No.
fucked the game, so he took the L.
If we're still on honourable
was he-
mentions,
Was he standing back and shooting you?
Yeah, he was just at the back of the board. He was like, "Oh, I'll shoot you. I'm AOL," and then I just built a huge wall of Easterlings, like sort of between him and the middle of the board. And there was then like 50 minutes left or something. He's like, "I'm nowhere near the middle," and
And I need a shit.
he didn't have time.
yeah,
That's what you were trying to portray that I did. That would be Lemon. Ash, yes, we are on honourable mentions.
so I want to shout out the best 5-point model in the game, which is the trusty Orc Tracker. Now, these little fellas have done wonders for me this season. I've got 2 incredibly tippable moments that they did. The first one was against Will Champion at the Masters, shout out Will, where 8 Orc Trackers behind a fence shot out 2 Black Numenorians and did a wound to the Spider Queen when Will had put her in a fantastic position to combat into both the Witch King and Saladin, or held down the line, or just run away so that it would have to double strike. And the trackers had 6 shots. I hit 5. 2 hit the Black Nums, double 6. So now the Spider Queen is just there in the open, can't combat away or do anything. And also she takes a wound from the Orc Trackers. That's the first moment. The second moment is at Worcester against Ed Ball and his Vanquishers in round 4 in Domination. The game was going to be won or lost on Gandalf the Grey versus an Orc Tracker. So Gandalf had moved within like an inch of one of these objectives and charged an Orc Tracker. If I lost, the tracker was going to die. If Ed lost, Gandalf was going to have to back an inch away out of the sort of 3 inches that you can be in within the objective in Domination. Ed rolls a 4 high, then one tracker rolls a mighty 6, wins me the game, and then without that one tracker doing that, I would have not won Worcester. So there, 5-point trackers OP.
Yeah, I've also had in a practice game, I've had 2 trackers go through 2 in the ways, both rolled down, and then double 6 to kill Dane's 2 wound pig.
No way.
Pretty Lemon. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I've rolled down with both. Okay, this is pretty sick. Double 6 instant. It's only a practice game though, but yeah.
The best thing against Will was I went, Will, what happens if I roll double 6 here and then just roll 2 giant red casino dice? And it was like, what? It was so funny.
Any more brief honorable mentions for anyone before we move on? Okay. So we're going to start taking a look at some of the actual stats for the season. So kind of looking at the more competitive end of the season as a whole, we're going to start off by looking at the podium winners, but the podium positions for good factions. So for the audio listeners, the factions with the most appearances, tied with 7 appearances, is Lothlorien and Misty Mountains. So obviously this is including alliances as well, as none of those Misty Mountain ones are obviously pure. Then with 5 podiums, we have Erebor Reclaimed, Rivendell, and the Fellowship, which is obviously allied as well. With 4 appearances, we have Arnor, Iron Hills, Halls of Thranduil, and Minas Tirith. So any thoughts to take away from this one?
I think we need to go back to our good faction episode where
Did
I
look
think
at
it was
this.
me and James who were Arguing with Sam, he's dropped out clearly because he knows he was going to get beaten down
here
at
now.
this section of
I'm
the
here,
pod.
mate, you knob.
What? Sorry, Sam, I can't see you on my screen. That's all. Anyway, me and James were debating Sam whether or not Lothlorien was one of the best factions in the game, and clearly we were proved right, James.
Clearly we were.
Yeah,
As
but we
usual,
didn't
Sam is
say
right.
ye,
we
Samuel.
put Lothlorien underneath Minas Tirith, and it is almost twice as high on this list.
Yeah.
But I think you wanted to put Lothlorien in like dog tier or something.
Me?
No, I'm going to
Me.
jump to Sam's defense here and actually say both myself and Sam are saying Lothlorien is silly nervous. And it wasn't Lemon because it has to be allied for it to do well. It's very rare you see it alone do this well because obviously the Court Guard and Galadriel are incredible and often get allied into Lake Town or with, as George Downing does with Elendil and some guys, or into a Minas Tirith list or whatever. Lothlorien with Rohan is really strong. It allies really well. It's got a really cheap legend caster. But alone, they don't really have the strength to punch through.
Jay, you've used Lothlorien a fair this year. Any thoughts? James, what is
I've
James
just
has
discovered
discovered
a
the
new
editing
feature.
tools.
okay? That's new.
So I used Lothlorien at a number of tiers, but obviously it was Aladdin, as Adam mentioned, with Minas Tirith, and obviously Misty Mountains as well. But and obviously, yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said. But I know Rawson's used Lothlorien as a pure list and has won
He totally has
more than one GBHL 100 with it. So I think that proves it can be done. I actually do rate the list as a pure list as well for a good army. I think it's got all the tools you need, pretty much. I agree, it might struggle to, you know, break down a high model count, high defense army, but I think you've got solid heroes that can do the trick. Galadriel can shut down heroes. You've got high fight. You've got cavalry. I can't think of anything more you want the army to have.
God, Jay, come on more often, mate. That was
You're not
beautiful.
wrong. That was,
We don't
that
need
was
to
a
say anything
typical
else.
breakdown, Jay.
That was fantastic.
The viewers are going to be everyone's going to start buying Loth now. It's all going to go out of stock.
I'm still on the hashtag Adam train. Unfortunately,
You're not played Sam.
Ash's opinion for just because it podium's the best means it's a lemon army. It doesn't work for Minas Tirith and other armies he's quoted in that tier list. So that's instantly fallen through. But yeah, I'm not surprised at this.
Yeah. Let's not revisit the half-an-hour debate that we did in the good faction in the good factions tier list. Go check that one out if you would like to go see that. But yeah, any thoughts from this though?
I like that's the only podium with Survivors of Lake Town wasn't Sam.
I was thinking that. I was like, it only got one.
Let's go. I tried very lemon versions though. What can I say?
It's already got one in 2024.
Indeed.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. I guess maybe Rivendell a little bit higher than I was expecting. Obviously, this is only good. So when you put it in with Evil as well, it wouldn't be anywhere near as high, but it's just outside the podium for good factions. I mean, obviously it is, you see it a lot. So, but it's not something
I think
you usually see too much.
Unnumbered tiers boosted it up because Rivendell was taken a fair amount, and also at the finale, Jakob came second with it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Numenor.
I think it was just simply people allying in Círdan and Glorfindel throughout the year.
They
worked more at higher points.
I don't think it even featured on the unnumbered tiers podium.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Did it not?
Uh-oh.
I think it was just more people taking it that was the.
Also, has Survivors podium this year already?
Yeah, Sean did.
He took the
Army.
That was Army.
He took Army.
Army.
Oh, he took Army. He did take Army. Yeah. True.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. But I mean, on the podium, we've got Loth, Misty Mountains, and Erebor reclaimed. So I guess I'm not surprised people dropping in Guahirs and stuff everywhere, and Thorin on Goat and that sort of thing.
So if we're looking at only pure factions, do you think Arnor's the only one that's sort of Oh, James is pointing to Misty Mountains. I wonder if the viewers are going to be able to see these reactions.
I know, maybe not. Yeah.
James, is there a
Oh,
little
no.
I'll have to
annotate
go
thing on
back
the
and
bottom?
watch.
Is it the annotate in the bottom left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But I
think
mean, I think
pure
Arnold
Erebor
might have
reclaimed
been.
was good.
Yeah, but Erebor reclaims allied in, isn't it, quite often?
I won a 90 with pure Erebor
This is
reclaim.
only 100 podiums, Adam.
There's only hundreds, Adam.
Oh, fair enough. Wouldn't have done it then.
Okay. So yeah, that is going to do it for the good podiums. Moving on, we have the evil podium.
Let's go.
So for the audio listener, so with now, I believe that actually says 17, but I didn't format the chart again. So with 17 podiums at GBHL hundreds, we have Mordor. With 14 podiums is Serpent Horde. Then all the way down with 8 podiums, obviously it's still a lot, but compared to Mordor and Serpent Horde, it's nowhere near as many. We have Assault on Helm's Deep and Host of the Dragon Emperor Legion. They both have 8, and then AOL, Assault on Lothlorien, has 5. So quite the jump between the top 2 and the rest. What do we think?
How many of those were Ash? The Mordor Serpent?
5 for each of them.
5. Yep.
Yeah, no, the top 4 don't surprise me.
How many of the assaults are yours, Jay?
None. Oh, Assault upon Helm's Deep, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant AOL. I think 5 or 6. I think of mine for Assault upon Helm's Deep.
Quite a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them's Christian Lewis. I don't know if another
Yeah.
one.
I think 2 are Christian Lewis's. I think.
Yeah.
Did he take it to G? No, no, he didn't.
No, to Wolves there.
Yeah.
Not Wolves there,
No,
sorry,
Pompey.
Pompey.
There's one in
Pompey
Pompey.
GT.
Pompey.
Yeah, I know Pompey, but what was the other one? Don't know.
He finished 3rd at another one. I know that, but I can't remember where.
Yeah,
I think the rest are all mine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish I could say the same that about 5 or 6 of those Emperor ones were mine, but you know.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, Witch King Sully is sort of, so when I went on into the West, yeah, we were kind of talking about the meta that we've had here all year, and it's been Mordor Serpent Horde, dominated, and this shows it, really.
I'm totally surprised with the 8 Host of the Dragon Emperor podiums. I didn't think. I mean, I guess we did rank it lemon quite often at the beginning more of the season. I guess Ali was also quite a lot of those coming 2nd and 3rds. It'd be interesting to see the actual winning lists, because I can't remember sort of 2nd and 3rd places, as well as when
I mean, Jamie
Ali
had
won
one, Matt Light had one.
Ali.
The guy, I can't remember his name, won the Irish event with it. Michael
It'd
Bradford.
be interesting to see the first places of all these events as well. But hey,
Yeah. Yeah, Black Riders with 2. I think we ranked that like really highly on our Legendary Legion tier list, but we didn't see much of that.
oh, Corsairs.
Corsairs.
When did
Yeah,
Corsairs
I think Black
podium?
Riders. Sorry, go ahead, James.
I
I
was
don't
just
know.
wondering, when did the Corsairs podium? I don't remember that happening.
It might have been an alliance or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Angmar with 2.
Probably an Irish event or something. Angmar was one of the Irish events, Battle on the Coasts. I don't know what the other one was.
Surely that's John
It was
23rd at
Preston,
Preston.
wasn't it?
Yes, so it's that, and yeah, because there's 2 there. The other one was the Irish event. Yeah. Moria snuck in there as well from that same event, which is quite funny.
Jay and rest of the gamers, do we think that there will be a nerf coming to Mordor Serpent Horde or not?
Not to Mordor. Definitely
No.
not to Mordor.
I don't hope a nerf. I hope a change. That's all.
Change.
Yeah, I don't think anything is going to be changed.
When's
Well, I
the
mean,
next
a
FAQ?
change, the sort of change that we would probably propose is enough. It would be enough. It would make it worse. So it would.
Is it February? That's the new. That's the.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to do another emergency podcast, James. Me and you
Oh.
both.
Oh.
The worst performing pod of the year.
That is the worst performing video.
It totally was not. Big thumbs down for you guys.
No, it was, buddy.
Me and James killed it.
Totally did kill it.
We totally
You should
killed
definitely
it.
do another one though, because that was cursed. I didn't
We
like
will. Fucking great. I was unemployed. Let's go.
it. Will you be unemployed when the new FAQ
I
comes?
totally might be. Hi guys,
This
back
is
for another
not
FAQ.
good.
I'm unemployed again.
Gotta cancel the drone subscription.
If only I didn't have the drone subscription. Ah.
Ash, we'll know he's doing. We'll know he's unemployed rather when he's doing a daily pod every day by himself.
That's true.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We'll be
emergency.
live streaming.
Don't you mean solo hammer? Come on, I'm already setting it up.
God, if we had an Elliot, we've got to have one Elliot solo hammer report on the channel. That would be hilarious.
The viewers give. So, am I going to commit to another Zoidberg like thing? Am I going to say
No,
1,000 likes on the video?
Definitely.
Well, no one will believe you anyway, mate. So
You've lost all
Oh.
trust and dignity.
No credibility anymore.
That's
No.
the word.
Hashtag sellout. Okay, so that's going to do it for the evil podium. So we're going to move on to look at how we all got on individually throughout the year. So for any audio listeners, I'd probably say like this and the rest of the podcast, you might want to watch on YouTube, as I can't read out everything that's on here. So I've got all of the rankings and where we finished in the league. So who wants to go first? What do we want to talk about?
I think we need to shout out Jack, who attended one event and got 26 GBHL points, coming substantially below everyone else.
He came 1036th in the league.
Yeah,
Not bad.
it was. I think the battle between me and Jay for third place was really, really like nail biting up until Contest of Champions.
Contest.
Which
Yeah.
contest was actually the first time that I had beaten Jay this season, and it was almost a playoff for third place. That final game 6 at playing Contest of Champions as well.
I thought it was quite fitting that it ended at that tournament in the final game, and the winner takes all, pretty much.
Yeah, because you weren't going to go to Sterling.
No, I only had the finale left.
Only had the finale left, and we kind of
Which
knew
you
that
did podium.
we did
Correct.
podium,
Yeah. But
but
it
you
didn't
needed
matter.
to. Yeah, even if you won the finale, you needed to get another 90 score, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah.
Which you totally did do on a whim, though, didn't you? At that 90, you didn't even care about winning.
Oh, in September, the one that Elliot really wanted to win, and I turned up and just ruined his and the other 20
Yes,
players there.
that one day. Yeah. But I like how Ash and Jay are next to each other in the rankings, and we also have Adam and Sam next to each other at 13th and 14th.
Yeah,
hell
with
yeah.
incredibly tight scores as well.
So we've got just under a third of the top 15 in the Gollum's Gamers, which is
And then
Or
a
to put it better, than that, 50% of the top 4 Gollum's gamers.
Yeah,
love that. Yes,
that's better.
that's way better.
Cool.
I think now it's more, isn't it? Because we've got Ali and Ben. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
A
out
lot.
of the top 14, there's 6 of us.
Mm.
That's a good
Yeah.
stat.
Or
Yeah.
4 in the top 8, I think.
It's pretty typical.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think between you two, it was a close race, and then I think although I did improve last year, 'cause I think I came 16th last year. So I mean, it's 2 places better. But I kind of wished, wanted a little bit more. I wanted top 10, which didn't come to fruition. But it happens. There's another year. And yeah, it was very, very tight between me and Adam. We what 0.45. I know you got the third 90 and the 0.25 or 45 difference.
You have 2 of your scores separated by 0.25. I've got 3 of my scores separated by like 0.4.
Something that is real. I mean, this man didn't take the most competitive list all year. However, Mr. James Goble, it's it's not a fall from grace. However, it's I
Have
don't
you
really.
heard of the story of Icarus, James?
I think I made it quite clear this year. I was playing for fun, not to
Yeah.
be mega competitive. I think
What are
I
you doing
achieved
this
that
year,
quite
James?
nicely. This
What are you
year,
doing
I'm
this
back
year?
in the fray.
He's
Let's
back in.
go!
Brings me a lot of joy to know that that number 57 is gonna at least be divided by 8, and that
At
brings me a lot of
least
joy.
The only
Amy James
I-
Goble is coming.
the fact that
7.125.
Elliot finished above you, James. That's the real killer.
Yeah, that is a bit of a kicker.
Come on.
But, you know,
I'll
That's
enjoy
a
it while
kick
it's
in the
there.
face.
So
sometimes
I
gotta let these
actually,
things happen.
so although I went to more events than last year, I think I finished like 10 places worse.
Mm. I think we can definitely say that the fact that there was over 1,300 players this year meant that this season was one of the most competitive. Jay winning 300 and not being in the final league podiums is, brutally cruel.
Yeah. I mean, the league literally doubled in size from last year to this year. So
Yeah. I was going to say, I know you laughed, Elliot, that my top moment of this season was you messing up, but that's because I wanted to save coming third for when we talked about these stats. It was something that I had absolutely no intention of doing at the start of the season. I just wanted to this year. My goal this year was to automatically qualify for Masters, whereas last year me and James qualified via lots of people dropping out, and then I just kept winning hundreds, and I managed to slot into third place. So I doubt I'll ever top that this season or any season in the future. But you never know. I didn't expect to come third this time, so it was
you have to try, right? You have to try and beat it.
yeah. I'm not going to try, but again, I wasn't trying in 2023. It just happened. So definitely a
Typical
top
for you, mate.
moment, top season.
Very impressive.
It is, Ashley.
From
Done yourself justice
Ashley
there,
and
my guy.
Jay.
Question is actually, are you gonna diversify yourself and take it to the big leagues? Take it to the big leagues with new armies and a new you in the new year, huh?
I know.
No chance.
It's we'll see how the February FAQ goes. I think
If nothing changes,
God, I just love playing the list so much. It's so sad.
The most OP models in the game are fun.
Yeah. But it's more the magic. I this week at Into the West, I just think that magic is so powerful that if it's not Witch King Sully, there'll be some sort of magic casters in there. But we'll wait and see.
Yes. And then looking at the part at the very bottom there, so we can actually see the amount of tournaments that we all went to. So Jack Walger with the breadstick, 1 event attended. And then we've got, so who is that? James and Adam both went to 19. So you're tied. Me and Sam were both tied with 23. So just some interesting ties there as well. We went to a lot of events.
Me going to the least amount.
And coming the highest. Well, not the least amount. Your brother went to the least amount.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Any more comments on this before we move on?
Who has the highest so Jay's got the most amount of points. And then Sam. And then is that you, Elliot? I can't tell because the table
That is me. Yeah, it's just I couldn't hit it on the screen, but yeah, that's me after. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So actually, it's quite interesting that you and Sam, in total number of points and in average points,
We've got almost the same average
you've got
points.
almost the same average, but you're 30
Well,
spaces.
Tournaments.
that's how bad I did. It's crazy.
Does it mean that I got joked? I don't know.
Poor Elliot.
Either way.
Such fine margins.
Yeah. But talking about the amount of events that we attended, we can move on to the teams breakdown where so we actually went to the most amount of events than any other team. So you can see there we came third in the league with 139 tournaments attended between us. The next highest was the Guardians underneath
But
us.
there's
And
only 7
remember-
of us as well.
with
which is more
113.
impressive.
Ollie and Jack together went to one event. So
Yeah.
that is,
7 of us.
with 7 players, we went to 138 events. We're not sad.
39 divided by
We're
7.
just keen.
So it's an average of 20 events per player between 7 of us.
Rate that.
That's the commitment we love.
That's how you get third in the league. Average points per tournament, second highest. So maybe robbed there. Who knows?
Yeah. Any heroics did fantastically on that
The teams event.
the team event, because they
And
like,
that's totally how
almost-
Guardians actually were in a position to maybe jump us at the finale if certain things went right for them. It's why I'm personally kind of not a fan of those kind of events for the team sort of thing, because you just get so many points at one event.
Yeah. I guess
Seems
it makes them
fair.
more important for, I guess if you're doing a teams league, the team events we should go to if we want to do well in them. So I'm not against it.
They're not
Total
100,
team.
are they? So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You can see that the hundreds made all the difference. Me and Jay contributing 400, and then like you can't bridge that difference if you're only getting 90 points.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, we needed a few more 95s, didn't we, from the rest of the team to compete.
Yeah, how many were we behind 7th City at the end? 24.
Was Matt like winning? Was it Sterling he won, which really kind of jumped them?
Mm.
There was a
Put
world
the
where
nail in the
before
coffin.
that, maybe we could have I think we needed Sam to have a good showing at Sterling, or Jay, to get us up there in position for the finale for one of us to do well there. So things could have happened, but then Matt won Sterling and was like, oh, okay. Seems very unlikely.
All in all, though, I think it was a fantastic season for the Gollum gamers. In the end, it went really well.
Our first year in the GBHL as a team.
The only way is up.
Yeah.
And with our 2 new signings, they will be released on the pod soon.
Foreshadowing. Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
At some point.
I think there can be potential gold coming this year. Dare we say it?
Maybe. Yeah. Any other comments from anyone on this before we move on? No? Okay. So very briefly before we close out. So basically, this year I have been individually tracking every single game of MESBG that I've played. So I have some very individual stats just for me and all the games that I've played. So this is like one screen grab from my big Excel spreadsheet. So this is the kind of thing that I put together after every game that I played. And then I've got those are stats basically for all the games that I played. So I thought I'm not going to use it for anything else. So may as well share it here as it's sort of interesting. So here we have some percentages for my wins and my losses. So I played 150 games of MESBG this year, which is quite a lot. Slightly more than you, Ash, I noticed, but I've been to like 6 more events.
Well, I also, so Elliot's pretending he's the only person that tracked all his stats, and I was tracking them throughout the season as well. And I didn't add all of my practice games in, but yeah, keep going, and I'll say mine. But
yeah,
it probably wasn't. I probably played more games than you.
This is including my practice games as well. Yeah, so 150 games total. 116 of those were at events. 34 of them were practice games. So my total win percentage was 58%. That's including my practice as well, because my practice wasn't very good. I had a 38 win percentage in my practice. I don't know what that says. Am I not taking practice seriously? And am I playing against really good players when I practice? I don't.
Playing against this
How are
man,
you
Graham.
counting the games against yourself? Are they
I don't
a win
know.
and a loss?
They do not. Jesus Christ! If there was solo hammer games, that'd be over 200 easily.
God,
I'd argue it's excellent opponents you're playing against, buddy.
buddy.
But I'm practicing against good competition to try and do well in events, but then that didn't happen. So maybe it's bad practice. And an event win percentage of 63%. I don't know if that's actually any good. It's probably not. Like, I wonder what Jay and Ash, your win percentage would be at events, for example. I don't know. Would
So
it
James,
be like?
I have got these. You're the statistician. I went to a total of 92 event games in 2023.
Yeah.
And 79 of those games were at GBHL hundreds. and I won 57. So what's the percentage of wins for that? 79 games and
Oh,
57
out
wins
the 79.
out of 79.
And how many did you win?
So I
57.
played
I think
79
it's
games. And I won
72%.
57.
72%, I think.
Yeah, 72.1%.
And
Yeah.
4 of those games were draws as well. So I guess they count as it, because some of the events I won were like 5 and a draw. So
Yeah,
I guess-
mine, these stats aren't including draws. For me, I had like 7 draws, which aren't in
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best stat,
there. Okay, there's not much in it.
the best stat was I played against Sam Grattan 3 times at GBHL scoring events and won all 3 games. What'd you say to that,
That's a
buddy?
beatdown.
I'd say, what were they again? One was Dewey's, hashtag me when I don't roll for the watcher in Clash.
No.
One was contest.
One was
Game 5.
contest, and I'd tailed your entire army apart from the 3 heroes, and you won.
And unnumbered tears.
Oh yeah, tears.
And
Yeah.
here was
Dwarves.
also a cursed event. Yeah, good games. I think they seem closer than they appear.
God, I wish I had delved more into these stats because already just from looking at the spreadsheet, me and Sam have played over 20 practice games against each other this year.
Is that all recently in Christmas?
No, so these are from I've literally got an event name and it says practice at mum's.
Let's go.
Now, kind of like an off question to everyone. What would you say everyone's favorite event was this year? As in, which event would you want to go back to the most this year?
Sterling.
Sterling for
Yeah.
James. Ash?
The Masters.
Excluding Masters, because that's like something that you're invited to. Like, what
Okay,
was one you
sorry.
went to last year that you could buy a ticket to go to again because you really enjoyed it?
I think it's a shame, but Leon isn't running 100 this year. So the Worcester
Is he
100,
not? Oh,
no, because of the new GBHL 100 stipulations, you have to.
oh yeah,
Um,
fair enough.
I think the GBHL finale was fantastic as well.
The finale
That
was good. I
a
really
really,
enjoyed it.
really good event.
It might not be within reach this year, though, is the only thing. It
We
could
have
be
to
north,
go to
but,
collect our first place team prize.
True.
What do you mean it's
Yeah.
not in? It won't be in reach.
As in just like where it could be, because it could be in Scotland or something.
No,
but-
it's in Central again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're keeping it in
Oh.
Central now, I think.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because it's
Oh.
near everyone, or it's near it. It's it's the Central.
Oh. Yeah, that does make sense, to be fair. Yeah. Jay and Adam?
I think for me, Articon, I think it's just the best social of the year, to be honest, and it's just 5-day holiday pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam?
When are we thinking of going to Arcon? We should go all 9 of us, but I know the tickets go on sale like a year. They basically
They're
go
already
on
on
sale.
sale. They're already on sale
Yeah.
at the moment.
Are they sold out?
No, definitely not. I've not checked, to be fair. But I've now got free tickets. So I'm not going to check.
This
But,
guy, because it is really expensive, isn't it? That's the only thing.
yeah, I think tickets are like 100 quid, 105 quid. And then obviously accommodation and whatnot on
Hotel.
top. But there's like 3-4 Premier Inns and like travel lodges all like within a 5-10 minute walk if you don't want to stay at the actual Mercure. But the vibe is just great. You guys we all have to go as a team once, I think.
Yeah.
Because remember, I'm part of Team Guardians at Articon.
What?
Yeah, you guys know this
Not-
stuff. You all know this, all right? From 2021.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
We'll change that this year.
Yeah,
Let's-
this year,
There we
mate.
go. So I need all you guys to go then, right?
We're going to have the new
Well,
thread.
Adam and Vince went last year. Adam, you still there?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, Articon was brilliant. I love Chaos Sonata. I love the doubles. The singles was amazing as well. I played J Claire round 1, and then round 4 I played Kylie. So yeah, and I played the Italian champion as well round 3. So yeah, I played all sorts of people, and there's nothing like it really.
Yeah.
Articon.
Yeah. Mine is probably unnumbered tiers. I think Ed is a really good TO. Shout out Ed Ball. I think he runs a really good event. Like, I think him being the head honcho is a position that he really likes, and he leans
Yeah.
into it really, really well. So I think he
His
runs the
speech,
event really well. Yeah, just all of his speeches and everything are
the
just
speech at the
really
beginning
class.
where he recites verbatim Bilbo's speech is incredibly nervous.
Yeah,
Typical.
yeah. So there's that.
Yes,
Yeah. That was typical from you, Jay. And he does a lemon giveaway as well, probably the biggest giveaway raffle. Sorry, not a giveaway, a raffle out of any event. And just like the space as well, the venue's really, really nice, lots of room. It's quite far away, which isn't that great, but I just it's got a nice cafe at the front. I just think the whole venue has a really nice vibe. Ed's a great TO. It's 1,000 points as well, which is different. I generally like higher point games, so I think 1,000 points is different as well. So I think it's quite a flagship event that I'll probably go to every year. I think it's probably my favorite.
I guess the only other one to shout out would probably be City of Kings that Ali runs, because that's always really good. And also the custom scenarios are good fun.
Yeah.
The venue is really nice. The food's always good at City of Kings.
Cheap alcohol.
Yeah, cheap alcohol. And it's at a nice sort of is that a country? Not a country club.
It's like
It's-
a bowls.
Bowls
Is that
club,
a bowls club?
like a club, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
And finally, the Hampshire Grand Tournament is a one we will
They're
go
not
to
doing
once
it.
again.
They're not doing it this year.
Two of the tournaments that aren't happening. Why?
I saw something on Facebook earlier saying that they're not running it this year.
Paul, if you're listening, change your mind.
So I was just saying that I prefer high point games as well. So on the left here, I kind of broke down how many tournaments were in each kind of point bracket. So there were 6 events that were in the 800 point bracket this year, which is the most by a mile. So compared to last year when we thought there were loads of low point events, there's been a lot of high point events this year. I've also, if it was like 805 points, I've chucked that into that 800 point sort of.
I think me and Sam were speaking about this, and you were saying, Sam, that you hope that there's not so many 800 points because of how many there have been.
I mean, there was a lot,
especially towards the end of the year.
They just all collected in one, like 2 months.
Yeah,
it was just 800 point, 800 point, 800 point, 800 point. I thought, oh my god, can I have another point level, please? So I'm hoping for less 800 points. Like, just even if it's 850 and then you go 750 and then a 900. Like, I prefer.
Yeah, I don't know why there's nothing really in between 800 and 1,000. Like, obviously we do everything between 800 and underneath, like every 50 points, but we don't do anything else after that, and that could have some more variety.
Yeah.
Elliot, 2025, you can run an 100 point event.
Lemma. So I was going to do an 800 point 1 day event with 4 games at 800 points 1 day.
What about the Gollum's Gamer 3-day event where you play 12 games on a bank holiday weekend? And it's not only your skill, but your stamina and your capacity to function that, all aspects of a gamer.
No one would go.
It would sell out instantly.
No one would go.
Think of the promotion. We get like 25 views on each pod. Those 25 people
on here. People fly, overseas. It'll be the new Articon.
Yeah. The Gollum's Gamer a con.
Okay, so that was the first little bit I had, and then the last little bit of my stats that I have is about kind of what actually happened at the events that I attended. So what I used the Emperor Legion for 64 games this year. This is actually practice games as well. So 64 games with Dragon Emperor, some might call very boring. And then 30 games with Witch King Suladan.
Everyone should feel bad for me having to fucking do practice games against Emperor Legion and Mordor Serpent Horde over and over and over again.
I'm not sure if we've actually had a practice game with my Witch King Sally, to be fair. Maybe one or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure
it's
like
gouge my eyes out, mate.
Against Ash as well.
Yeah, and Ash.
Yeah.
Awful team to be a part of when it comes to practice games.
And then some random other armies thrown in there: Azog's Hunters, Defenders of Helm's Deep, things like that. So that's kinds of things I was using. But then my opponents, so the armies I came up against the most at events were things like Minas Tirith and Angmar. I played each of those 8 times. Serpent Horde and Bjornings 5 times each. Serpent Horde Farharad and Mordor Serpent Horde 4 times each. So I wasn't expecting to have played Angmar 8 times, considering it hasn't really done very well this year. But for whatever reason,
People take it to 90s, I think, don't they? It's not really a 100 army.
No, yeah,
So,
I went to a lot of 90s in the first half of the year, and then the second half, and then in terms of scenarios, sorry, Ash, go on.
I can say that just quickly, I played 83 games this year with Mordor Serpent Horde.
You upped me,
and that doesn't include all the practices. So potentially over 100 games this year playing Mordor Serpent Horde
with a single army.
Love that. Practice makes perfect, ladies and gentlemen.
It does. And then in terms of scenarios, so if you're wondering, I wonder what the most played scenarios are at any event. Well, considering I went to a lot of events this year, this is kind of the events that the scenarios that you would expect to play the most. So Domination and Whole Ground tied with 11 times that I played both of those this year. So if you're wanting to write a list for an event and you're wondering, I wonder what I might play the most, you're probably going to play Domination and Whole Ground. Then Assassination, I played 9 times. Lords of Battle, 8. Recon, 7 times. And then at the very bottom, we've got Breakthrough and Clash by Moonlight at 4 times, which I think is quite sad because I really like Breakthrough. It's probably one of my favorite scenarios. We did a scenario tier list for any of the viewers, and I really like Breakthrough, but I only played it 4 times, which kind of sucks. But we play it a lot when we practice, to be fair. And Storm the Camp, I only played 1 time this year, and it was at Ali's event.
I'm going to give a negative shout out to David Clubley here.
Yes.
Warren points incoming here.
Well, I wasn't going to mention the name personally. I was going to say a point that I can't, with the person's name that will not be said. But now you've said it. He gave me a warrant point for saying that. He gave me a warrant point for saying that
about
he owes reroll Storm the Camp and insinuating it. And this right here proves, or doesn't prove it, but it leans into the fact that they do, because only once is pretty sus.
Over 23 events, how could you play Domination and Whole Ground 11 times, but Storm the Camp once? This is unlikely.
I might get another warrant point for this, but I don't care. Screw you, Clubley.
You're holding the L there. Yeah. And it wasn't even normal Storm the Camp, it was Ali's edited version. So really,
that's
I
0.
didn't play it once. Like Ali put that into the pack specifically, but it wasn't actually rolled on 1 time this year.
And I wonder why.
So
I think I played at least 5 times this year. Storm the Camp.
An event.
I've played it quite a few times.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I track every single game. So
Jay, you played it. This should have been one of your top moments. You played it at Lududno, and Jake Rawson walked across the board against you and lost as you just obliterated his army.
Yeah, that was I felt for him. There's nothing you could do. Yeah, I mean, it's just bad luck, bad matchup, bad scenario, right? Happens to all of us. There's nothing you can do. Doesn't matter how good a player you are. If you just come up against an army that just beats yours in that scenario,
So is this the last slide, Elliot?
This is it. Yeah. So have you got any more stats?
I think the viewers are itching for you to conclude one of our best pod episodes
ever.
The race.
Should I close it out?
Who won?
Oh, about the race.
Went down. This is a season finale.
Oh my God.
Review.
Not the race again.
Hashtag the race. Ash, you plugged it for me. Fucking hell, you're learning, mate.
So are we going to give Jake Rawson?
Oh, yes, because you wanted to.
Go over how we... James literally took his list, threw it out the window.
I think it still belongs
and said
on
that's
the
what he's
street.
done to the league.
Did the hand actions and everything.
I stick by my statement.
Well, Ash, you wanted to apologise, didn't you? So
I think we should maybe retract some of our statements, as Jake Rawson then won the event, beat me, and won the league using that list. So some may say that wherever we ranked it was incorrect. And Jake, I think we owe you a slight apology for dissing on your list, as we
I think
apologised to
that's-
Jay earlier.
I think I partially agree with that. Yeah. And we also do, yeah, Jay, we extend you the same sort of apology as well for shitting on all of your lists at New here, and then you proceed to podium those events with your lists.
Can you please just play the Conor McGregor clip?
We should I think I should carry on.
Fucking
Yeah, that's hella soy for Mash. Hella soy. This guy can't believe in his own
I think
opinion.
what all this shows, though, is that people like Jay and Rawson and Farman as well, they all take lists that maybe we don't think are the best. But
Rawson's list wasn't the best, though. Simple as that. I stay by that.
But they just have what it takes to see it through.
But I think we specifically said that it wasn't a league winning list.
Yeah, it's not.
And then it won the league.
And then we won the league. So
but it was though. I get what you're saying, that you wouldn't rank it in that category, but it did then go out and do that specific thing.
Yeah, that doesn't change what it is, though. I mean, it's just fair enough.
But it does make it that thing if he then did it, though, doesn't it? No.
Nah.
Okay, if you were on our pod, would you have said that Rawson's list was good or bad, or somewhere in the middle? Yeah.
I rated it. It's
so
a very
that's easy
similar
to say
to the list I took.
Yeah, it's in hindsight though.
number.
Yeah, it's different.
No, it's not though, because that list has everything that my list at number tiers did at a lower points level though. High defense, front line. I had Ministerial, Fantacore. He had Iron Hills. Galadriel, obviously we both had Galadriel. Obviously he had Biffa, and I had Legolas, but that's just because of points difference, right? Like that's a list that I can see myself using.
But you also had Guai here for any mobility whatsoever.
Yeah, but it's 1,000 points. No,
Yeah,
but it's 1,000 points, right? It doesn't obviously, yeah, it's at 800 points, right? It's a massive difference. But like, you don't need. I mean, obviously, you guys rinsed the Crebain, didn't you?
Not me.
Apart from Ash. Like, you don't always need everything in a list for it to be a tournament winning list, right? Like, it's impossible to get everything. Do you know what I mean?
To check every box. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't take it. Yeah, exactly. But that list ticks probably what, 9 out of 10 boxes, 8 out of 10, maybe.
I mean, I guess
you get. Yeah, and then if you get the right matchup and you play the right army and against the right scenario, then you're gonna. And with a player like Rawson's skill,
and you're a good enough player as well. Yeah,
you're gonna. Of course, you're gonna win, right?
Yeah.
Be in a position to do well. Yeah.
It definitely ticks like 8 out of the 10 boxes, 100%. But that's not then. I don't know. Like, if you do get a bad matchup, you do just like a list like Witch King Suladan ticks, I'd say, argue nearly 9, 10 out of 10 boxes. And that is better. And
yeah.
You know what I mean, like it's.
But a better list doesn't mean it's guaranteed to win an event, right? You have to.
Well, no, yeah, you still need luck. Like Rawson got luck in the finale to win, like on a few of his mission and matchups, and in the game. So.
Yeah.
I just thought he deserved a shout out minimum for proving us wrong.
Winning the league. Yeah.
Even if I still agree the list isn't perfect, but it was good enough, and we said it was complete trash.
Well,
I think there's also another.
We didn't say it was complete trash.
We didn't say it was
we
that great.
insinuated it.
Yeah.
We put it in silly nervous. That's literally what.
I think there is another part of it as well, though. Like, going into the event knowing that, he needs to win the event to win the league. Like, when he's in the 5th game and the 6th game and stuff, like, obviously, the pressure sort of builds, and he did ultimately, go in there and perform on the day and actually win it. So, I'll tip that as well.
That as well.
You got it.
What a way to end it, I think.
Yeah. Any more comments from anyone about the 2023 season before we close it out? No? Okay, so Jay, thank you very much for coming on. Although you were the guest today, obviously you are part of the team, so we hope to have you on more in 2024. I know you're a busy guy, but we'd love to have you more involved. So we'll organise something for sure. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of the Gollum Gamers podcast.